Now, the meat and potatoes. How do you actually go ahead and form your LLC? These days, if you go on the internet and you look on a Google search or something similar, you'll see a bunch of different organizations and websites that can help you form your LLC. This could be an issue. The reason why I say that is, even though it's easy to click through and go ahead and form your LLC through some of these website companies, they don't always fully protect you. For one, they're going to give you a template for your operating agreement. It's going to be the same template no matter how many times you form your LLC. That's not necessarily going to protect you, and it's not necessarily going to have specific information that you need and require for your company and your business, especially if you have a partner. Another reason, there is something called an LLC publication. This is not the case as a requirement in every single state, but some states do require it. New York State, for example, has a LLC publication requirement, which means when a new LLC is formed, the existence of that LLC needs to be published in 2 newspapers over the course of a 6-week period. 1 daily newspaper, 1 weekly. Depending upon the county, there are certain newspapers that are approved and others that are not approved. It literally is just a small blurb about your LLC in a specific format that goes into these newspapers and establishes the existence of your LLC. It's a requirement for an LLC in certain states. So check whether that's going to be a requirement in your state or not. The reason why I bring that up is these clickbait websites do not always provide you with that information. So you may have formed your business, you may be running and operating it, and you may have had no idea that your state was one of the states that requires LLC publication. And what happens if you don't do it? Your business is not going to be considered in good standing. So that's going to be an issue if you ever have any asset purchases, or if you ever want to get a loan against your business or a line of credit or something of the sort. So make sure when you're forming your LLC, you do speak with an attorney that deals with businesses, corporations, limited liability companies, and you ask these questions, what the requirements are. I would also suggest speaking to your accountant, because you're going to want to know how your LLC should be taxed. You're going to want to know what sort of flexibility you have in that regard. And with that said, we're going to get into a very little bit about LLC taxation. Now, I am an attorney, barred and licensed in the state of New York. I am not an accountant, so let's just keep that on for the record. But LLC taxation is a very, very interesting thing. And this may be one of the main reasons why so many people love LLCs and forming them. So a limited liability company is not classified by the IRS. What does that mean? It's not a known entity to the IRS from a taxation perspective. A limited liability company has automatic default taxation rates, and an LLC as a single member or one owner automatically is classified and taxed as a sole proprietor. Now, a multi-member or 2 or more owners of an LLC, the automatic taxation is a partnership. Again, speak with your accountant about what that means. You may have heard the word pass-through entity. An LLC is considered a pass-through entity. That means when the income comes into your business, your limited liability company, the company is not taxed, but the income passes through to the member owners, who are taxed individually on their tax returns. There's something called a Schedule C that gets added to your tax return and goes over the expenses, the income, deductions, and the whole bit as far as your LLC taxation. Now, one of the most interesting things about a limited liability company is, at any time during the existence of your limited liability company, you can make the selection, with of course the advice of your trusted accountant, to be taxed as a corporation. Now, what benefit would that have? Well, if I have my limited liability company and I'm the only owner of it, I'm now being taxed as a sole proprietor. And I say, you know what, I want to be taxed as a corporation. Why? Well, if your business has employees, you now can be one of your employees for your business and pay yourself a reasonable salary as classified by the IRS. What benefits does that have? If you're now taxed as a corporation and you're paying yourself the reasonable salary, what are you saving? You are saving on self-employment taxes, Social Security, Medicaid, the whole bit. 15.3% you are now saving on that amount that you are not paying yourself as far as what income remains in your limited liability company over the course of each year. Huge, huge benefit. It makes sense in certain circumstances. Again, speak with your accountant about that. But all in all, here's a little bit on the tips and tricks for forming your LLC, what an LLC is, how it can be taxed, and how important professionals are in your steps that you should be taking to get started to form your business, and have your accountant and your trusted attorney there with you every step of the way for the formation process. Contact me or leave some comments below and I'll be happy to respond. Stay tuned for more information on LLCs corporations, and other areas of law that I practice and will be speaking about over the course of this channel. Make sure you subscribe for more information. Look forward to seeing me again.